fight begins.
Hello everyone! If you're a fan of adventure as well as I am, then you will simply like this list. So without any words, let's start.
So it's true.
Yes, too much is true.
But life is a way of bringing people together.
Good luck.
Number 1. Jurassic World. Located off the coast of Costa Rica, the Jurassic World Luxury Resort provides a habitat for an array of genetically engineered dinosaurs, including the vicious and intelligent Indominus Rex. When the massive creature escapes, it sets off a chain reaction that causes the older dinos to run amok.
You just went and made a new dinosaur?
Probably not a good idea.
Now it's up to a former military man and animal expert to use his special skills to save 2 young brothers and the rest of the tourists from all-out prehistoric assault. Number 2. The Revenant. While exploring the uncharted wilderness in 1823, frontiersman Hugh Glass sustains life-threatening injuries from a brutal bear attack.
Only safe thing to do is track a new course back up on land.
Then what we gonna do? Sit out there like a bunch of goddamn ducks? You and your half-breed son get to walk on out?
When a member of his hunting team kills his young son and leaves him for dead, Glass must utilize his survival skills to find a way back to civilization. Grief-stricken and fueled by vengeance, the legendary fur trapper tracks through the snowy terrain to track down the man who betrayed him.
I've done it already.
Number 3. Jungle. A mysterious guide escorts an enthusiastic adventurer and his friend into the Amazon jungle.
I told my parents I'd be back in a year, but I don't think I'm ever going back.
Their journey turns into a terrifying ordeal as the darkest elements of human nature and the deadliest thirst of the wild force them to fight for survival.
Carl, what are you doing?
Number 4. The Walk. As a boy, Philip Petit dreams of performing daring feats for dazzled crowds. As an adult, his life's ambition comes true when he becomes a high-wire artist who stares death in the face with every step.
But even if everybody tells me I'm mad.
Well, you shouldn't care about what other people think.
Okay, but I care what you think.
And people ask me, why do you risk death? For me, this is life.
Under the guidance of mentor Papa Rudy, the French daredevil devises a plan to walk on a tightrope attached to the north and south towers of the World Trade Center. With help from his team and against all odds, Petit attempts the seemingly impossible stunt on August 7, 1974. Number 5. Aquaman. Once home to the most advanced civilization on Earth, the city of Atlantis is now an underwater kingdom ruled by the power-hungry King Orm. With a vast army at his disposal, Orm plans to conquer the remaining oceanic people and then the surface war. Standing in his way is Aquaman, Orm's half-human, half-Atlantean brother and true heir to the throne. With help from Royal Counselor Volko, Aquaman must retrieve the legendary Trident of Altan and embrace his destiny as a protector of the deep.
Here.
What are you doing? Wait.
You should have a parachute.
Redheads! You gotta love them.
Number 6. Wild. Driven to the edge by the loss of her beloved mother, the dissolution of her marriage and the headlong dive into self-destructive behavior, Cheryl Stratton makes a decision to halt her downward spiral and put her life back together again.
My mother was the love of my life.
With no outdoors experience, a heavy backpack and a little else to go on but her own will, Cheryl sets out alone to hike the Pacific Crest Trail, one of the country's longest and toughest true trails.
What if I was sorry? But if I could go back in time, I wouldn't do a single thing differently. What if all those things I did were the things that got me here?
Number 7. In the Heart of the Sea. In 1820, crewmen aboard the New England vessel Essex face a harrowing battle for survival when a hull of mammoth-sized and trained attacks with force, crippling their ship and leaving them adrift in ocean.
Normally, a captain gets to choose his first mate.
An experienced captain, yes.
Pushed to their limits and facing storms, starvation, panic, and despair, the survivors must resort to the unthinkable to stay alive.
So I live and breathe. He's mine.
Number 8. National Treasure. Historian and codebreaker Ben Gates has been searching his whole life for a rumored treasure dating back to the creation of the United States.
Don't you get it, Ben? The treasure is a myth.
Dad, I refuse to believe that. Of Independence.
You think there is a treasure map on the back of the Declaration of Independence?
The map is invisible.
Joining an expedition led by fellow treasure hunter Ian Howe, Gates finds an isolated colonial ship in Arctic Circle that contains a clue linking the treasure to the Declaration of Independence. But when Howe betrays him, Gates has to race to get to the document ahead of his so-called colleague. Number 9. Inkheart. Monty's daughter Maggie have the ability to bring storyboard characters to life just by reading aloud. That gift backfires when he accidentally summons Capricorn, the evil villain of the novel Inkheart. Mon and Maggie must find a way to send him back to his literary realm, but the task will not be easy, for the malefactor likes his new world and will not leave it voluntarily.
You're going back in that book!
Number 10. The Aeronauts. In 1862, headstrong scientist James Gleason and wealthy young widow Amelia Wren mount a balloon expedition to fly higher than anyone in history.
There is where I have found the greatest happiness.
Women don't belong in balloons.
Get your chance. They'll realize your worth.
I think they know my worth quite well enough.
As their perilous ascent reduces their chances of survival, the unlikely duo soon discover things about themselves and each other that help both of them find their place in the world.